Why do so many aquarium hobbyists sell their stuff for pennies on Facebook Marketplace? Well, I'll tell you why, and I'll also tell you what you can do to make sure you don't become one of those people. This is what happens with pretty much every single person that's ever had an aquarium. For some reason, your interest is piqued in these glass boxes full of water. Maybe you're at the pet store and you see it. You're there to buy dog food and you see an aquarium and you say, that looks cool. Or you're at a friend's house. Maybe you're at a public aquarium and you're fascinated by the whole concept of keeping fish in captivity. For me, my story has been told many times on this channel. I was at a pet store with my boss. He was there buying fish. I saw a silver arowana and it was all over for me. Whatever it is, it piques our interest. And in today's world, we start to obsess over it. We start watching videos. We start reading articles. We talk to people. We get completely obsessed. We save up our money. We think we know everything that's involved. And then we finally go and we do it. And it is the most amazing thing. Everything is great until algae starts growing on everything. The water gets cloudy. The fish are at the top gasping for air. The tank just looks like a mud puddle. What the f? This is the moment. This is that moment where you make your decision of whether you're going to conquer this thing and you're going to have one of those beautiful tanks and enjoy this for a long time, or you're just going to quit. Well, I'm going to share with you in this video tips that you can use to be prepared for when this happens. And yes, it will happen. I promise it happens with every single fish keeper. I'm going to have you prepared. I'm going to tell you what you need to research and all the things that you need to learn so that when it happens, you don't become one of those people. The first thing that you need to know, I've said it so many times, it's almost old at this point. People have made fun of me for talking about this too much, but the fact is, it is the most critical thing to understand about this hobby, and that is learn the cycle. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but there is a life cycle in an aquarium that keeps things healthy and keeps things moving along and makes your life so much easier if your hobby is keeping a glass box full of water. I'm going to tell you spend as much time as you need to spend to understand this concept. It's not that difficult, but so many people don't truly understand what's going on in the water in their aquarium. But I'll tell you this, I'll make it simpler for you. When you're done watching this video, I'm going to give you the first piece of information that you should watch, and that is this video right here. It is a video that I did several years ago that's called The Most Important Video About Aquariums, or you'd think I would have the title memorized by now, but it is a critical watch for anyone that's just coming into this. Maybe even you might be an experienced person. You just need a refresher. Check that video out. Understand the cycle. I promise this hobby is going to be so much easier for you. Next is to understand generally how water works, what causes problems, and how to fix them. And there's a lot. Too much light is a problem that a lot of people have a difficult time grasping because they're like, what are you talking about? We got to have the light on. We want to be able to see our fish, right? Well, having the light on too much and too intense can be a huge issue. It's going to promote algae growth, and the algae will come in all different colors and shades and textures. You could get the dreaded blackbeard algae, which is the nemesis of every single fish keeper, the brown diatom algae that covers everything, green algae on the glass. It's a problem for everybody. It comes in many different forms. And if you're having your light on too long and too intense, you're just fueling that. But not enough light is also a problem, but it's not what you think. If you are a planted tank keeper, and if you are, I encourage you to check out our website because we sell all the plants, but plants are a very, very popular thing in this hobby, and it is something that you will naturally progress to. And so where light can be a problem because there's too much of it, it can also be a problem if you have live plants and you don't have enough of it. And that's a very difficult balancing act. It's a kind of thing that takes a while to get figured out. What is the right amount of light to have? What is the right intensity to keep my plants alive, but also not cause the problems that we talked about earlier, where you just have all of this algae and the algae is taking over the plants, and it's a huge problem. What do I do? The light is one of those things that can cause a lot of problems either way. It can cause problems that are killing plants. It can cause problems that are encouraging the growth of algae. We need to find that balance. This is one of the most challenging things, but once you get it, it's so glorious. It's so wonderful. It just takes a little while to get there. I actually had this exact problem with my planted tank in my bathroom for a while. And guess what I had to do? I had to cut my light back to only being on for 6 hours a day. I have it on in the prime times where I'm there, not always in the bathroom, but I always walk through there. It's hard to explain, but I have it on when I will be seeing it the most, but I don't have it on over 6 hours because that's the sweet spot. Took a little while to figure that out. When you do, it's a beautiful thing. Temperature in your aquarium needs to be stable. This is something that you're going to do depending on what type of fish you have. Certain fish like it warmer, certain fish like it on the cooler side, some like it right in the middle. Tropical fish, the reason why they call them tropical fish is because they are from tropical climates. The water is 78 to 80 degrees all the time, and that's what they prefer. Having a stable temperature is critical. If it's too cold for fish that like it warm, they're going to get sick all the time. They're going to have ick all the time, again, leading to all of these problems. A lot of times new fish keepers consider the heater to just be an afterthought. It's just something that they put in the corner because it came with the kit, but it is absolutely critical. Again, depending on what kind of fish you have, if your fish are tropical fish, you're going to want that heater to be on, you're going to want it to be functional, and you're going to want it to be set to the right temperature. Check with the descriptions of whatever fish. Watch care guides for the particular type of fish that you're keeping. Keep that temperature at the right place. One of the best things that you can do as a fish keeper so that heaters are never a problem is have a backup heater, because there's not a whole lot of things that you can do if your heater goes out. Have a backup. That way, heat is never a problem. Now we've got another one that is going to be a contradictory one. I'm going to say it both ways, but the first one is not enough maintenance is going to cause huge problems. I don't think any fish keepers, including myself, when I was entertaining getting into this hobby, I did not consider that I was going to have to do work on this thing to keep it nice. Sure, I figured I'd probably have to clean algae off the glass, and they make those very convenient algae scrapers. I don't even have to get my hands wet, but I didn't realize that there was going to be so much more involved with it. And I think most fish keepers don't. They buy aquariums on impulse. They just want to get in, and they want to get in as fast as possible. And they don't think about the fact that they are going to have to change water out. They're going to have to vacuum out that gravel. If you're using gravel, we don't need to get into all that. There's going to be maintenance that is involved. It's not all that difficult. It is something that has to be done. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, there's no such thing as an aquarium that requires zero maintenance, but there are aquariums that require less maintenance. Now I'm not going to start a big argument in the comment section, but aquariums require maintenance. There is no such thing as an aquarium that never has to be touched. You need to know that if you're not doing enough maintenance, you are contributing to that problem. The whole fiasco that we talked about in the beginning of this video is because you have decided to be lazy and not maintain your aquariums. There is no magic chemical. There's no magic thing that you can put in the tank that prevents all maintenance from ever needing to be done. You are going to have to do work. You just have to get over it. If you're researching before you buy your first aquarium, if you don't ever want to touch it, this is not the hobby for you. While maintenance has to be done, I'll say it to your face, there is also such thing as doing too much maintenance. And I don't know this for fact, but in my experience working in the industry and meeting people, going to their houses, doing what we've been doing with our Boxes of Water series, the most common issue that new fish keepers face is they're not lazy. They're not that person that didn't think about needing to do maintenance. They're on top of their maintenance and they're actually maintaining their aquariums too good. They don't understand the cycle. You know, the thing we talked about earlier, the thing that people make fun of me for talking about too much. They don't understand that cycle. They don't understand that they're cleaning their aquariums so immaculately all the time that they're actually doing more harm than good. They are causing the problem by doing what they think is fixing the problem. They're being too good of a fish keeper. That sounds ridiculous, but it is way more common than you think. You can over clean your aquariums to death. Quite literally. I've run into so many people that say, I don't get it. I clean my tank religiously. I break down my filter and I clean it out thoroughly. There's not a speck of dirt anywhere in my aquarium. It's perfect all the time. I don't understand why my fish keep dying. It's because you're doing too good of a job. So not maintaining your aquarium can lead to all these problems, but also maintaining your aquariums too much can cause this problem too. But here's the thing. I don't mean to be talking about all of this as if it's just this big doomsday scenario, that all of these things are guaranteed to happen and you're going to be your own worst enemy and you're going to cause the problems and all of this stuff is going to happen. What I'm telling you is all of these things will happen. It's best for you to be prepared for them. Maybe not the temperature thing, but you need to pay attention to temperature. All of these things are going to happen. You're going to have algae. You're going to have to figure out how to get your light balanced so that it's not on too much. You're going to have to get yourself onto a schedule of maintenance and understand the maintenance that needs to be done to keep your aquarium healthy. You're going to experience all these things. I don't care who you are. But here's the beautiful thing. If you get through all of those things, you will get to understand the true lifestyle of having an aquarium. You're going to get to experience why we are all so crazy, why we live and breathe this, why we don't call it a hobby anymore. We call it a lifestyle. You will truly understand because your aquarium is going to balance out. And you're going to get on that schedule, the feeding schedule, the maintenance schedule, the lighting schedule, all of that. Your temperature is not an issue because you bought a good heater. You have a backup. You're not worried about that. You know how your aquarium runs because you did the research. You figured it all out. It's not that hard, folks. You don't need to have a degree in microbiology or marine biology or any biology to understand this. Some simple research, watching videos, learning from people who've done it many, many, many times, you will get to that place and it gets better. I promise. Just like I said in the title of this video, it gets better and you get to that place where it's not a headache for you anymore. You're not coming home to new problems all the time. You're not always having things go wrong in your aquarium. It just looks good. The fish are happy. The plants are thriving because you figured out that lighting and feeding and maintenance schedule so that you're not overrun with algae and your plants are thriving and your fish are thriving and swimming through those. And you get to experience what this is all about, where you get to actually look into your aquarium and enjoy it and admire it and feel that feeling. There's been so many people who have been saved by this lifestyle, by this hobby, if you prefer to call it that, because it provides them with a place of just bliss. It is your own personal little fortress of solitude, the thing that you can look at and you can admire, and it just makes you feel good. It takes that stress away and it just brings you down and makes you feel good because there's so many good things about it. And there's so many bad things out there that are distracting and make you angry and frustrated. And it's nice to be able to come in and be able to look into that thing and feel that peace and feel that beauty and help you out. Feel that beauty? I don't even know if that's a real thing, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. You just get that feeling, and that's what it's all about. If you quit before you get there, you're missing out on a beautiful, beautiful thing. The things that I've listed here are the things that take out most fish keepers. Not knowing the cycle, not understanding how water works, not understanding that you can have your light on too long and that's causing a problem. Also understanding that you can have your light on not enough and it's causing a problem. Understanding the temperature is critical for a lot of these fish, not being your own worst enemy. Understanding what maintenance is needed and not doing too much of it. Letting that aquarium come to life. And you never get to realize that moment when everything's just working and it's balanced and it's become just a thing where now you feed once a day. Maybe you're a twice a day feeder. It's part of your schedule. You figured it out to where you can feed twice a day and your fish are happy and the plants are happy. The aquarium is happy. It's not all covered in algae. And guess what happens? You end up happy in the end. That's what I want. That's what I want for every fish keeper, is to find that place. And the thing that sucks the most is that so many fish keepers never get to see that because they give up before they get there. You need to understand it gets better. I promise it gets better. It takes a little bit. It's not like it takes years. It takes a little bit. I'm going to say give it a couple of months to get everything balanced out. Put forth the effort. Spend some time with it every single day, figuring out what is going to be the best. Whether you need to buy timers for your lights or buy a light that has a timer built in, you need to understand the schedule and understand what balances everything out. Because once you do, that is when you truly understand the benefits of this lifestyle. Again, you might call it a hobby. I call it a lifestyle. It's a hobby until you find that place. You find that place, then it becomes a lifestyle and it becomes something that's like riding a bike. It never leaves you. I've taken breaks from this hobby and every single time, I just called it a hobby. I've taken breaks from this lifestyle and I've always come back because it never leaves you. It's always there and you always know that it's going to be that thing that makes you happy. It's going to be that thing that's beautiful to look at. It's a connection to nature. It just makes you feel good, damn it. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a beautiful thing, and I would hate to see anybody miss out on that because they got frustrated and gave up. This is not as difficult as you may think it is. Have a little patience, work with it, figure out that schedule, and it gets better. I promise. That's it. Just a little bit of a rant today. I hope that helps you out. If it did and you enjoy what we're doing here, if you want to support us, check out the keepfishkeeping.com. Things have been popping up in the corners and stuff like that. You can support us by going to our website, ordering up all of the things that you'll need to facilitate this new schedule that you're going to be on so that you can find that fortress of solitude. I'm going to try to get as many Superman references in every video that I possibly can. But anyway, listen, thank you all so much. I hope this has helped you out. Don't give up. It gets better. I promise. Bye.